Warning, the following podcast is a shit show, and the individuals you are about to meet are idiots. Their opinions, anecdotes, and advice contain zero nutritional value. This is the critical human condition and all of its strangeness. This is life, according to an idiot.
Let's just cough at the same time. Oh, God.
Okay. I say we give it like a 5-minute trial.
I go through fits. But my issue is I wonder if it's the talking that makes it worse. You know what I mean?
If we really need to, I can do Sunday. I'm just nervous about time because I forgot I have sketch rehearsal that afternoon.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah, we're in Austin Sketch Fest this year. We made it.
Cool.
We made the cut.
Congratulations.
It's a festival they do every year, and everybody around the U.S. applies. So we have some people from like New York and L.A. and Chicago.
Wow, you see some
stuff.
pretty good people, I bet.
Mm-hmm. So that's exciting. Our sketch troupe, As If, is going to be doing it. And 2 of my sketches out of the 5 are going to be in the best of showcase that we do. So that feels pretty good.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Anyways, we're recording. Oops. Hello and welcome to According to an Idiot.
Welcome.
I am your co-host, Mo Christine.
And I am your co-host, Jeremy Howell.
We are having a cursed recording. I feel like it happens to us at least like once a year where hijinks ensue. For me, it's every technical difficulty I could possibly have. My headphones broke.
Just snapped off.
I'm using my partner's headphones right now, and they are so uncomfortable. And I was having internet issues, but with only one web page, and the web page is the recording software that we use.
Not important.
Yeah, that was great. And then my camera didn't want to focus. And Jeremy is dying again.
I'm sick again.
This is his yearly...
My yearly bronchitis.
bronchitis.
Okay, so I'm going to try not to cough too much, but I can already feel them. The cough, meaning...
The bronchi.
The bronchi. It approaches, I can feel it coming. Like when a dog senses an earthquake before it happens. It's like my whole body tenses up and goes, oh God, the tickle's going to come. And I don't cough, I bark.
Yeah, you're aggressive. The way that you cough is the way that I throw up, which is like the most ungodly sounds.
I also throw up that way as well. So I think I just excrete in a severe way, you know?
Did I tell you that I am allergic to Lactaid?
You're allergic to Lactaid. That's new.
I guess. My brother-in-law like carries around Lactaid in like a Tic Tac container because he's lactose intolerant. And so on a few occasions, he like offers it up to everybody regularly before a meal. And on a few occasions I accepted, thinking that, you know, I didn't want to be gassy or something. Yeah. And it made me violently ill.
Oh, so you're like a stomach response. You were throwing up?
I was throwing up. I was throwing up on the other end, but like the most violent
oh my God
throw up that I've ever experienced in my life. I'm talking like hours.
Holy shit.
An entire night worth.
Are you sure it wasn't food poisoning?
So that's what I thought. I thought I had food poisoning because the first time it happened, I also ate weird undercooked salmon from a sketchy restaurant.
Yeah.
So I was like, for sure, thought it was food poisoning. But then it happened 2 more times within the span of like a month and a half.
Yeah, it's probably not food poisoning.
Every like 2.5 weeks.
Oh my God.
And the common thread
Lactaid
was that I took Lactaid a couple hours before. And I Googled it, and it turns out that's not an uncommon side effect.
Do you know what it is inside of Lactaid that can induce that?
I have no idea. I think because Lactaid contains lactose, that I just had a really, really bad reaction.
Damn.
Fun fact.
Is there any other on the market that you can take? Any other dairy aids?
I'm just going to fart.
Yeah, honestly, it's better than throwing up and shit in your pants.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that.
Anyways, that's not what we're going to be talking about.
This is not a dairy-based episode.
That's just a fun little update. But considering Jeremy's triannual bronchitis, we're going to be doing a mini episode, and I thought it would be fun to cover underground cities.
Somewhere under the Earth's crust, there's a secret city
Were you planning that?
No. That was like a little gift from
Well,
God, the devil? I don't know.
the improv brain is still going strong.
Yeah, it still flickers awake sometimes.
So since we are doing a mini episode, we're not going to do much babble or segments this time around.
It's just a condensed episode, basically,
Just condensed. So we're going to jump right into it. Forget all the lactate stuff. That's not part of it.
No.
What is part of it is what inspired this whole episode. A woman by the name of Catherine Austin Fitts. You might have heard of her recently in the beginning of the month. As of the time of this recording, it is May 16th, 2025. So recently, a lot of articles have come out about Catherine Austin Fitts because she is a Bush-era official. She was the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development from 1989 to 1990.
So that's the first Bush. That's W's dad.
Mm-hmm. W. And if you do math, quick math, that is 1 year that she was an official, which is a very short amount of time.
That does kind of make me now take pause at whatever she said.
Okay, well, hold that thought. So this woman, Catherine, showed up on the Tucker Carlson podcast.
Oh, that's where she was? Oh, never mind. What? We did a whole episode on this? Oh, fuck.
Yes. Which is a very credible
Yes.
source of media, Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Famous for his, fact checking. She went on his podcast to talk about an issue very serious to her, which is that the U.S. government spent $21 trillion on an extensive underground network of bunkers.
21 trillion.
$21 trillion.
I think in the 80s, that was like the U.S. government's budget, annual budget. But of course, dark money though. We've talked about dark money on this show before. Dark money. There's a lot of dark money in, especially the military's budget.
Yeah, and that's
billions.
one thing Catherine hates.
Mrs. Fitts, put some respect on her name.
Mrs. Fitts hates dark money. So she came out with these claims that there were hidden funds that were funneled into around 170 underground bases across the United States, with some even beneath the oceans. She said that they were built in anticipation of a doomsday event, and it would act as a shelter for the elite and rich, while also serving as sites for secret government projects, including space programs. The reason that she is coming out with these claims is because investigations found that the Departments of Defense and Department of Housing and Urban Development had $21 trillion in unsupported adjustments between 1998 and 2015, which is the time period she claims that this underground city was being built.
But how would she know when it ended? Because I would imagine she isn't privy to all this while no longer being in the government. Right.
So if we're following her timeline, she worked there from 1989 to 1990, and she's claiming that this was built in 1998 until 2015. But the reason she's giving that timeline is because that's when the funds were unaccounted for in the budget. So that was, I think the budget for like the housing and urban development at that time was like $9 billion.
Okay.
So 21 trillion was
That's a lot.
A significant amount that was unaccounted for and like hidden, which is not uncommon. Like, I think it's kind of common knowledge that the U.S. fails its audits every year.
Yeah, the Pentagon does. Our military fails.
Yes. And there are like large amounts of money that are unaccounted for, or we supposedly don't know where it goes. And by we, I mean the public.
Yeah.
So she's alleging that these unknown funds were going to building an underground city for the elites, the powerful, the rich people.
Let's put it into perspective, though. For example, not to get too like current events, but there's currently Donald Trump's first term. He passed a tax cut of $4 trillion to the top earners, like at 1%, 10%, I don't know. Anyways, that was the biggest tax cut we had ever seen in American history. So like if in the late 90s, they had how many trillion?
21 trillion.
21 trillion. So that's colossal.
A huge amount of money. And I mean, that's spread out between 17 years. So that's about $1.2 trillion a year.
Trillion's crazy.
That's an insane amount of money.
Insane.
Even our billionaires couldn't pay for it. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah. Where'd the money come from, though? Because like taxpayers aren't given all that. It's a mystery.
We don't know. It's a mystery.
Yeah.
She claims that she spent years investigating where the money had gone, and that's how she discovered these underground bases.
Mm-hmm.
She's not very clear on how she was investigating.
Shocker.
Or how she found these underground bases, only that they exist and that she knows they exist because of these reports. I feel like something important to note about Catherine is that she doesn't believe in vaccinations.
Oh, well, sure.
And, there was something else.
Yeah, I think
some other,
you can't get booked on the Tucker Carlson show if you are pro-vaccine. I think it's a requirement to be booked there.
So this was like circulating all over the place, like all over social media, news outlets, whatever. You know, there's a huge underground network city underneath the United States and like neighboring oceans. And it was like a popular theory, conspiracy theory, whatever, that LA has like underground tunnels and like a city there as well for rich people and celebrities so that they don't have to mingle with the common people.
Well, sorry to interrupt you, but do you remember way back when, several years ago, Elon Musk was all for putting transportation tunnels underground in California? Maybe that was a little psyop. I'm reaching here, but to normalize the idea of like, why are they drilling right now? It's for tunnels.
Gotcha. It's tunnels.
Tunnels.
I couldn't find a lot on like the LA underground tunnels other than just anecdotal people saying that they exist and like, hey, trust me, I was an assistant to a celebrity, so
yeah,
kind of thing.
That kind of stuff.
But considering that this is most likely not true, I thought it would be fun to dive into some actual underground cities and underground tunnel networks. So 2 prominent ones that existed for the government, at least, is the Colorado Cheyenne Mountain Complex. This one was referenced pretty frequently. It's not too exciting. It existed as a base for the U.S. Space Force to monitor airspace for Canada and the U.S. for missiles, space systems, foreign aircraft. It was like a monitoring warning system for any attacks, but it's a huge mega complex. The more exciting one, which has a strange history that I was not prepared for, is the West Virginia Greenbrier Bunker. So this is a huge, like massive amount of land that acted as a resort because it had white sulfur springs.
Oh, wow.
So people were really into like bathing in them. It was originally, I think, purchased in the like 1770, I think is the date, because a woman liked to bathe in them because she thought it would cure her arthritis. It probably didn't, but
she later died of arthritis.
People realized, hey, this is like a really cool spot. We should make a resort right here. And so they did. In 1858, they built a grand hotel on the property, and it operated for, luxurious residents until the Civil War, where the Union and Confederate armies constantly were battling over it. So it swapped
because it was
hands.
Cool.
Because it was cool and they liked it. And they're like, I have arthritis, I want to cure it. So they kept swapping ownership essentially until the Civil War ended. And then it ended up becoming a peace grounds where they both coexisted together, which is really interesting.
It's crazy. It was the hotel underground, or was it built on top of this cavern?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
So it was built above ground. It's just a standard like luxury hotel.
Yeah.
I want you to just picture that. It has some like cool springs. It's like a tourist attraction, whatever. So during World War II, the resort was then used as a relocation center for Axis diplomats that were stationed in the U.S. They were imprisoned as enemies of the United States. So it essentially was a diplomatic detention center for mostly Germans and Japanese diplomats until July of 1942.
Weird. So it kept them in the springs or underground?
They kept them in the hotel, like the resort. So the United States government bought the hotel because they wanted a place to shove all the diplomats that they were imprisoning. So the government bought the hotel, held a bunch of people hostage, And then the original owners bought it back. And then the government bought it again so that they could turn it into a hospital for the U.S. Army. So it ended up being like a 2,000 bed hospital.
Wow. I mean, it makes sense because it would make sense that the government or whatever would own it because it's not far from D.C., West Virginia, right?
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Weird.
I would be so interested to hear like the ghost stories because I'm sure.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened.
There's so much shit going on in there. So in 1948, it opened up again as a hotel. So it transferred ownership again. They decided to renovate it, operate it as a hotel until the late 1950s. The U.S. government reached out to them and were like, hey, we like really like this place. So like, would you be cool with us making a huge bunker underneath your hotel? And they said, yeah. So they did. They made a huge bunker underneath this hotel. It was a secret emergency relocation center with the intention of housing Congress in the aftermath of a nuclear holocaust.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be this like top secret underground bunker that they could push all of their officials into.
Of all the people to save, why Congress, you know?
Why Congress? They can go.
Yeah.
They ended up naming the facility Project Greek Island, which is honestly a pretty cool name. And for 30 years, the bunker was stocked with supplies, but it was never actually used as intended. Obviously, we never had a nuclear holocaust. And the government just kind of pushed it under the rug. They never really acknowledged it until a reporter ran a story on it in the Washington Post in 1992, after which the government decommissioned it, and you can go on tours.
Oh, cool.
In it now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
What a wild ride.
That's pretty crazy.
For that little property in West Virginia.
Right. I would imagine you would want to keep that kind of stuff secret because it doesn't look so good to taxpayers, and also it could become a target.
Yeah. If you know, like, all of your important lawmakers are all housed in one spot, easy target.
Yep.
Which also, like, makes me wonder what the new location is.
Yeah, because there probably still is one.
100%. There's one somewhere.
Yeah.
There's no way there isn't.
Because you know who would approve spending for that? Congress.
Exactly. All those missing funds. Catherine wasn't far off. So those are some actual underground bunkers that are in use or were in use by the government at some point in time. But we also know that there were some underground cities that exist for the public. A good example is Seattle. Seattle has a very famous underground city. It's also called the Seattle Underground. I actually did a tour of it, and it's really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
They do a ton of like ghost tours and stuff of it. It's a popular tourist attraction. But the reason that it's there is in 1889, a fire wiped out most of the city, and a poor guy, some random schlub, is the reason. There was an overturned glue pot in a carpentry shop that caught fire.
What the hell?
And because most of the buildings were made of wood, everything just caught on fire immediately.
God.
And it just burned the entire city to the ground.
An overturned glue pot.
Yeah, right. Who knew?
It sounds like an old-time insult.
Right.
Hey, overturned glue pot.
Glue pot. It's insane. So after like everything burned down, they were like, okay, so obviously we need to rethink the way that we're building shit. So they made things with stone, like masonry, but they also took this opportunity to raise the elevation of the city because it was on the coastline. So it was flooding severely, regularly. And they decided since they didn't have any buildings there anymore, they might as well slap a bunch of soil there and raise the water line so they didn't have to deal with the flooding anymore. Some engineer figured out how to do that. It still doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
Yeah.
But they essentially did it in channels. So they would do them in sections. And it was interesting because there were still some operating businesses at the time. Like they were still rebuilding while they were elevating the city.
Yeah.
So people could still like shop, live there while their buildings were actively being buried. It's really interesting. The streets were lined with concrete walls that formed narrow alleyways, and there would be ladders that go around these walls. So if you wanted to visit a business,
You would just climb.
you would have to climb up and down a ladder
Wow.
to go inside the business because the ground floor
Yeah.
was how you got in. The new ground floor was like the second story.
Would it be the top of the ladder? Would be where the ground floor was?
Where the new ground floor would be. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
where the top of the ladder is, but it wasn't there yet. So you would have to climb up and down a ladder.
Do you know how tall these were? How deep these were?
I didn't record it. I think it was like 6 or 8 feet or
Okay,
something.
that makes sense. It would have to be like significant.
Yeah.
Like 6 feet makes sense.
So what was original ground floor ended up becoming the basement. And then the second story became the new ground floor, which everything was leveled out, which meant that all the original ground floors of the businesses were buried and became obsolete. So there was an underground city
Yeah.
where the businesses used to be,
Yeah.
because they made tunnels so you could still travel between the businesses. So it's essentially like a functioning city structure.
Does it flood?
I'm not sure if it floods. I don't think so, because they like lined things with concrete and stonework.
Yeah. But you said you were there? You toured it?
Yeah, I toured
How would
it.
you describe the ambiance?
Like my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
It feels like every Ghost Hunters episode I've ever seen.
Catacomb kind of thing?
Yeah, it felt like a catacomb. Yeah.
A crypt?
Definitely like haunted vibes. Like there was weird shit everywhere, abandoned furniture, like random dolls,
Yeah.
just, weird, creepy shit. And it just felt like isolated.
Yeah, literally sealed off.
Yeah, like sealed off.
So I'm kind of sad about that, right? There's like a melancholy to that. Used to be people's lives, people's homes.
Yeah, it felt really weird because it still had character,
Right.
Like you could tell that they used to be businesses and buildings and stuff, and it's just walled off at that point.
Weird.
So in 1907, the city ended up condemning the underground for fear of the bubonic plague.
Oh,
They used to use them as like proper basements for like storage.
sure.
But after that, they like sealed them all off and you weren't allowed to use them anymore.
Probably because of rats, right?
Yeah,
Like the
because
plague.
of rats.
Plague was carried by rats.
So they were essentially left to deteriorate. But not all things go to waste. It became a hub for illegal activity.
Yeah.
Like speakeasies, brothels, gambling halls, and opium dens.
Dude, humans love little cellars.
Yeah.
We love going underground and doing things. You know what I mean? We're like animals, we're like little burrowers.
Yeah, we love sneaking off and doing shit.
We love some tucked away place where we can do nasty things.
I'm not into a lot of those things, but I 100% would go because that sounds so fun.
Yeah. Unregulated, little fun, secret, closed off.
Yeah. Like, oh,
Yeah. I mean, I love a good basement. I love a good hidden place. I mean, you're putting a hidden room in your house, right?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you have plans. Like we like to burrow
Yeah, I like to hide.
dwellings.
Don't perceive me.
Yeah, don't.
I tried to find some ghost stories from the Seattle Underground, and it was like surprisingly harder to find than I expected because most of the websites about it are advertising tours.
Okay.
So
They're zhuzhing it up.
yeah, there's like a couple dozen different tour companies that do stuff. So from what I could find, there are a few prominent ghosts that hang out in the underground. One is the name Edward the Bank Teller.
Oh,
Apparently, he's a pretty famous ghost. There are two main locations in the underground that have ghost activity. There's an old bank, and there's a former brothel called the Oriental Hotel. So Edward, unsurprisingly, hangs out in the old bank, apparently having died of a shootout while on the job. He's seen as a tall figure with suspenders, a top hat, and a handlebar mustache. Handsome
interesting
fella.
look for a banker.
All right. Apparently, some paranormal investigation teams have been able to record his voice on EVP. I haven't been able to find them, but some tourists say that they've even held a conversation with him. Tourists love to lie, so I don't know how true that is, but
Yeah.
kind
If
of
you listen
cool
closely,
nonetheless.
if you listen closely, he's saying, "Glue pot, glue pot." What is it? What?
Glue bot.
Glue pot. Watch the glue pot.
Apparently, there is also a woman that appears in the bank vault, along with orbs and cold spots in the area. Ooh, typical ghost activity.
Yeah.
This one is actually kind of freaky to me. Faces are often seen in the windows
Oh, no.
of like the old buildings and businesses.
No.
And a woman wearing all white is commonly spotted in different areas of the tunnels.
There's this a really interesting like trope with ghosts in different towns, countries, whatever, and it's the lady in white trope. Every country, almost every city, has their own story of a lady in white or a similar concept where it's like a bride who was widowed on her wedding day or a woman who drowned in a lake, whatever. So it's interesting that like even the undergrounds have a lady in white.
Do you want my theory?
Yeah.
Okay, because my theory, I've talked about it before, is that they're not ghosts, they're like time loops. Like, you know, bleeding from a different timeline.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it was fairly common for women in the past to wear white, you know, because cotton and dyes were fairly expensive. So not everybody had the opportunity to like dye their clothes. White dresses were just very common garments for women to wear.
Yeah, breathable.
Yeah, so I think that's probably why a lot of people have women in white dresses.
Yeah. Yeah, because everyone always says like, oh, back then they wore so many layers, they must have been sweating. But they were all wearing cotton, which is insanely breathable. So they might be comfortable.
I mean, they lived somehow.
Yeah.
That's fine. The last city that I wanted to cover about a proper underground tunnel system, city, whatever you want to call it, is Portland. You might have heard of it. It's commonly referred to as the Shanghai tunnels.
Yeah.
I do want to make a note that the term is inherently a bit racist. I'm only using it in reference to the
Historical context.
and that's just the term that most people use to describe it. So to make sure we're all on the same page here, I'm talking about the Shanghai tunnels.
Yeah, it's still a term.
Yeah, but we're not subscribing to the connotation attached.
No.
So these Portland tunnels were a series of tunnels underneath what was Old Town Chinatown, which was like the original downtown of Portland. And it connected main businesses to the waterfront. It connected most of the basements of like hotels or taverns so that they could move goods from the ships to the storage areas.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Of the basements, which is like kind of a ingenious system, honestly.
Smart, yeah.
So they don't have to like go on the streets and deal with pedestrians and traffic. They can just haul stuff underneath in these tunnels and basements. So where they kind of come into infamy is because people believe that these tunnels were used to traffic people, essentially. So where the term Shanghai comes from is that it's used to describe when a young man is kidnapped and is forced onto a ship and to work as a slave, because you can't escape from a ship once it's out at sea. You either have to work on the ship or they kill you. So these tunnel systems gained infamy as a place where young men were drugged because they were connected to most of the bars and taverns in town.
Yeah.
They would drug the men, they would hide them, shuffle them, transport them through these tunnels to the waterfront docks, put them onto ships, and then sail them off before they woke up, so that they were essentially slaves to the ship captains.
Yeah.
So this mainly gained widespread knowledge when a writer named Stuart Holbrook published newspaper articles about it in the 1890s. It was a series of stories about a sailor who got drunk and then found himself the next day on a ship on his way out to sea. So everybody got like all up in arms about it, about these tunnels and how they're kidnapping all of our strapping young men and shipping them off to who knows where. It's been debunked.
Okay.
Question mark. There's a lot of controversy about it. Like half the sources I looked at said that it's been debunked. The other half say that it's been proven. So whether or not these were actually used in that manner, I'm not totally sure. Has it happened? Probably.
Yeah.
Has it been used to do other illegal things? Probably.
Sure. Come on. Underground passage that leads to the docks? Hell yeah. I mean, we know that people have trafficked people forever.
Forever.
So why wouldn't a human trafficker see that and say, hey, you know what? we can use that to traffic.
I pay you some money so you're not in the tunnel at these times.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah.
If it didn't happen to young men, it definitely happened to women.
Yes, for sure.
People were, I'm sure, getting trafficked. Also, in the same vein as Seattle, very hard to find information on it that's not from tourists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like touristy websites where they're offering to tell you all the things if you just walk with them for 3 hours in very uncomfortable environments while they embellish everything that they say. But interesting nonetheless. So that's a quick look at some of the underground cities within the United States. And I know you wanted to talk about an underground city not in the United States.
Yeah, speaking of Shanghai, what about Beijing? Is Shanghai in China?
Yes.
Okay, good. It's like, that's Chinese. So I'm going to try to get through this without coughing.
Beautiful.
So I'm already coughing. This is what they call the underground Great Wall, the city that lies beneath Beijing. Picture this, 1969. China and the USSR, those are the Soviets, were no longer comrades. At the height of their own Cold War, a border dispute between the two nations escalated to such a degree that a nuclear strike seemed imminent.
Oh, no.
They're like, we're edging the apocalypse right now. We're gooning here, and it's about a bust, and this could be a nuke. So, Chinese Communist Party chairman Mao Zedong, you may have heard of him.
I love Dong. Mr. Dong.
He caused 1 million deaths. So, Mao Zedong, Mr. Dong, ordered that an underground city be built nearly 60 feet beneath Beijing. The city would act as a bomb shelter designed to withstand nuclear, biochemical, and standard military strikes.
Mm-hmm.
It was completed in 1979, covering 33 square miles.
Oh, shit.
That's large, dude.
That's square.
Yeah. The government claimed the underground city could adequately accommodate Beijing's then 6 million population.
Damn, it's grown a lot.
Oh my God, yeah.
Damn.
That was what, the 70s?
The current population is 22 million.
Okay. People be making love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's a lot of people. But I thought it was more.
I thought it was like 1 billion, if I'm honest. I was like, have they hit 1 billion yet? I think it's about time. 33 square miles. What a footprint. The city contained restaurants, hospitals, schools, theaters, and even a roller rink.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's when you know it's serious, when they break out the rollerblades.
The roller rinks were so big in the 70s. What happened?
I mean, I just feel like there's better things to do in a dimly lit place than like almost crack your skull open.
Yeah, like partake in opium.
Yeah, hell yeah. And when's the last time you like rollerbladed?
Honestly, Flo really likes roller skating.
Really?
So more recently than I would have liked.
Are you good at it?
No.
And the last time I put on some skates, I think was 6 years ago, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like, remember, you ever see like a newborn horse when it comes out?
Mm-hmm.
It's walking all funny, it's tripping all over the place. I felt like I had no control over my body. My gross motor functions were gone and slowly moving. Like I couldn't brake. I'm going to roll into somebody else or a wall or traffic.
Right. And you know, like I'm at the point in age now where it just really hurts my hips and knees.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You don't feel your hips until you get close to 30.
Mm-hmm.
I never really thought about my hips until recently.
Until you're roller skating.
Yeah, the next day.
And it burns. Roller skating is one of those unfortunate activities that is really popular with gay people. Yeah. So, like, I kind of have to have somewhat of an interest in it.
The rollerblading lesbian's kind of like a cool punk figure.
Yeah.
Is Flo is on, what are those called, where they beat the shit out of each other?
Roller derby.
Roller derby. That's cool. That's a cool thing.
We've gotten into that. We've been going to roller derby bouts and watching really hot women in scantily clad outfits.
And they're just
wrestle each other.
They are, yeah, it's cool.
It's incredible.
It's
honestly so much fun to watch.
It is really cool. I've watched some of that. So on to not that at all. It also contained, which I thought was clever and crazy they could do this, contained factories, grain and oil warehouses, and a mushroom farm. Because you can't really grow much underground, but you can grow disgusting, slimy shrooms.
So they all got high as shit.
There's no way they're making cool mushrooms. They're making gross mushrooms. They're making nasty worm food, you know?
This is the 70s.
But this is also communist China.
Fair.
You know, I don't even know if they had alcohol. I'm sure they did. I don't know anything. I'm going to stop talking about that now. So, mushroom farm, they're also, they had spots preserved as potential water wells. There's over 70 of them. So you wouldn't be getting no contaminated water from the nukes. You're getting straight from Mother Gaia's womb.
Wow.
And that sounds sustainable. Like it would have been sustainable. I'm sure it would have escalated incredibly badly. Because I feel like that's just what would happen if you put everybody underground in a new world, basically.
I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't function too differently.
I feel like there would be immediate power grabs.
I mean, if we're assuming that there's a nuclear holocaust, then yeah, I would assume so. But if we're just saying like people just move down there, I feel like it'd be fine.
Yeah. So the tunnels that made up the city even had an intricate ventilation system made up of over 2,300 air shafts, each able to be quickly closed in the event of toxic gas attacks. So, you know, it's
they
crazy
thought of
what
everything.
they thought of everything.
So is it still maintained? Like, is this still like a viable option? Like if they wanted to use it?
Yes and no. Most of it is still there. They do routine testing for like water leakage, and they still do pest control. So
All right,
they're
that's
keeping
cool.
it around. So all of this was dug out and constructed by roughly 300,000 citizens, many of which were volunteers. Now, volunteer in communist China.
Volunteer.
Also, by the way, most of this was dug out and like by hand.
By hand?
They didn't
Why?
use much heavy machinery. I think just because
Okay, so like when you say by hand, you mean like with shovels,
Yeah,
right? You don't
shovels
mean
and
literally
drills and-
they're grabbing dirt with their hands.
No. That'd be even more impressive.
Okay, when you first said by hand, I thought you meant literally.
No, that's insane, actually, that you would think I meant that. But yeah, that's
I don't.
just clawing through the, we have to make a city.
They're like, you know what? I really need to just get dirty. I volunteer.
Yeah.
Let me at it.
I have the vision. So, while never fully utilized, obviously, because we never had a nuclear war that we know of. I don't know what that means. Sections of the tunnels remained accessible through surviving entrance hatches because there were a lot of hatches. Some say every house had like an access point. It's probably not true. But
yeah.
they say that a lot of businesses had hatchways, a lot of all the government buildings, stuff like that. So there was hatches all over the city that were later closed up, but some still do remain.
That was going to be like my next question is like, if there's hatches in all these businesses, then like it's definitely being used by somebody.
Yeah, I'm there's probably something going on. At least some homeless people, maybe. So most entrances were sealed or demolished, but some isolated tunnels remain accessible, and some of which have been renovated. In Wangfujing, a section of a tunnel was turned to a youth hostel, and tunnels in Chongwen and Xuanwu, Xuan?
You're asking the wrong person.
Really? Okay. In Xuanwu have been renovated into cavernous performance arts theaters.
Ooh,
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's good use.
Yeah.
And inevitably, sections approved for tourism opened up in the year 2000. Visitors were given tours of some barracks and a functional silk factory that was underground
Oh, that's fucking dope.
with demonstrations of the harvesting of silk from the worms.
Man, China's so much cooler than
China's
America.
very, very cool. China's very interesting, and because we have an opinion of China where it's like, bad, don't think about them, we don't get to acknowledge how innovative they are, you know?
Have you seen their cars?
Yeah, their EVs are incredible.
Their cars are so cool.
Their cities are cool.
Yeah.
Their cities are cool. Yeah.
Nuts.
Are we communist? I don't.
Yeah, I know, right? Cut that out.
Cut that out. We're sponsored by the People's Party.
China Communist Party.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the area closed in 2008 for renovation. It also had a gift shop, I want to add.
Oh, hell yeah.
It closed in 2008 for renovations and hasn't reopened. As I said before, the city has not fully abandoned it, and local authorities regularly perform water leak checks and conduct pest control. Could it be that the Chinese government maintains this deserted underground complex in anticipation of having to use it?
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
perhaps someday soon, like nuclear war is what I'm referring to.
Well, I know. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like you're saying that they want to start it?
No, just maybe they know something we don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a horrible plan B to have.
No, especially as like with climate change, it's like things get hot, the air gets not good for you. We're probably going to retreat underground inevitably, I would assume. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that sounds cozy.
Well, like we said, people love basements. People love little burrows. People love to go in a hole.
Yeah. I mean, like if we ended up having like a little bunker,
yeah,
I think I'd be in my element.
I would feel so safe.
Yeah.
It's like a weighted blanket.
Yeah, it would be like a weighted blanket, but just over my psyche.
Yeah, no one's going to find me here.
I am meant to live in a cave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where my mind is like most comfortable. Mentally, I just want to be in a cave.
Well, think about it. The first people, once it started to rain, they were like, I need cover. Mm-hmm. And they probably found caves and they're like, this is amazing. And then they were promptly mauled to death by whatever was in that cave. But after the ones were mauled, one of them killed the mauler, the animal, and they settled. They made homes. Cavemen. Ever heard of them?
Whoa.
1 + 1 makes 2.
And then they like dug little caverns for themselves with their bare hands.
With their bare hands, all by hand.
All by hand. It's crazy. Do you feel like you have learned more about society after learning about our inherent call to the earth?
I mean, when we die, where do they put us? In the ground. Are you seeing the pieces, people? Are you putting this treacherous puzzle together? Mother Nature's calling us.
It's all making sense now.
It's all making sense. Why are we looking up? We gotta be looking down.
Yeah. You know what's up? Hot.
Hot and also cold in different space.
Yes.
Why would I want that?
We want reliably cold and down.
Do you remember whenever I think of space, I think of when for Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos's rocket thing, he had William Shatner go into space. William Shatner, who's like 90. But because he was on Star Trek, it's like, hey, that's fun. Let's put him in a tube and shoot him up in the stars.
They're like, hey, Grandpa, follow me.
Yeah, it's like a test subject. And he said he was overcome, once the awe kind of faded, he said he was overcome with immense sadness.
Huh.
He said, because I was looking out at this like empty, cold vacuum where no life could exist. And down below, I saw life. I saw Earth. I saw my home. And all I wanted to do was be back there.
I saw is total blackness. Eerie, bad blackness. Because you realize it's space and it's 400 degrees below, somewhere around there, 300 degrees. And when you look back on this little tiny rock with the beige and blue, and that's life. My feeling then was extreme sadness, which I didn't understand until I landed. And I realized I was in grief for the earth.
That is so opposite of what Katy Perry said.
Yeah, I know.
Our most reliable reference.
My favorite astronaut. Can you imagine if Katy Perry came down and she was like, Katy Perry, how is space? It was a cold vacuum of death. Now, that wouldn't sell an album. That don't sell tickets to the world tour.
She didn't even look out there. She was too busy staring at the fucking camera with her weird flower.
Oh, she's so lame.
She's so lame. That's interesting, though. The idea of space is like terrifying to me. I think of it in like a similar light as the ocean.
Yeah. Where
it's so vast and empty and anything could happen that I just don't want any part of it.
Yeah, like I really don't. Yeah, space is too much to think about. Mm-hmm. It's endless.
Yeah.
There's no edge.
I got too much anxiety.
We know in the distance there are other universes that are exploding to life. And we know that in that fucking star that is a different solar system, they have a different periodic table. Mm-hmm. Huh? What does that mean?
Huh?
Their metal ain't metal?
Huh?
It really triggers those anime sounds. Yeah, so I don't know, man.
I hope that's how you listeners felt listening to this episode, is a series of Jeremy, any last thoughts before we sign off?
I just think that there is history buried beneath your feet, not just bones. Beware and dig. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That was weird. I just blacked out for a second. I didn't say anything spooky, did I? It was like I just fell asleep for a second. I woke back up. Would you ask me a question?
I hate you sometimes.
God, okay.
I could see the light in your eyes when you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna piss them off. Well, what about you? Did you glean anything from this? I mean, we kind of talked about like the man's desire to be buried.
Honestly, I'm surprised there aren't more well-known instances of this.
Yeah.
Because there definitely are more bunkers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And they were intended to be secret, I'm sure, but I kind of wish we knew more about some of them.
Yeah.
Because they're definitely there somewhere.
I'm surprised there haven't been any like fun underground towns or cities or
Mm-hmm.
even like a neighborhood out in the desert, some Silicon Valley thing, you know?
Maybe someday.
Maybe there is.
I mean, there might be, and we just didn't cover it. I focus mostly on the United States.
Maybe there is and nobody knows about it, is what I mean.
What if we make a commune underground?
That's why they don't want us underground, is because we start to become...
Too community-centric.
Our natural urge for communism starts to creep in. We're like, yeah, why don't we just work together? We don't need money. We can just trade goods and services. And the government's like, drone strike. Kill them now. No.
Gas them out.
No.
Gas them out.
BlackRock, Vanguard. We need oil. Yeah.
Well, on that note, thank you for listening
Thank you so much.
Your favorite podcast, According to an Idiot. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to rate us on
Yes.
iTunes and Spotify. It helps other people find the show. If you have a topic you want us to talk about, or if you just want to give us feedback or a thumbs up, feel free to send us an email at accordingtoanidiot@gmail.com. Stay up to date with our episode releases on Instagram and Facebook at According to an Idiot. And if you really, really like us and you want to check out some of our exclusive content, we have a Patreon.
Yeah, we do.
Where we have an exclusive series where we read creepypastas. Jeremy's reading the Mothman Chronicles.
Mothman Diaries.
Mothman Diaries.
Wait, Mothman Diaries? Is that what it is? Mothman.
You're fucking reading it.
Mothman Prophecies. Fuck.
Prophecies, that's what it is.
Mothman Diaries. What's that? Mothman has a diary?
But yeah, we're doing a bunch of cool stuff there. We have video content, other cool stuff. We have a YouTube now where we're posting video stuff, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So check us out there. I think that's it.
I think that's it. Just to reiterate again, when you leave us a review, it's like leaving us a review is like...
You're kissing me on the forehead.
Picture us, we're all skinny, like full of bones. Our bones are showing, and we're on the desert ground where we need water and food. And when you don't leave a review, you're shooting us in the head. When you do leave a review, you're giving us water and food, and you're taking us to a safe facility to be better. I hope that drives it home.
Yeah, I agree. The only part I disagree with is the shooting in the head. If you don't leave a review, it feels like you're leaving us there.
That's probably better than shooting in the head.
To die.
Yeah.
But if you're someone like Linda who leaves us a 1-star review, you shoot us in the head.
Yeah, the shot in the head is the bad review.
Yes.
Yeah.
So leave us a review.
Yeah, leave us a review.
Thank y'all so much. I love y'all.
And we will see you in time.